Well, that's not right. I've been working on this a bit today. This is the fluid cannons, the cannons up there. So basically stripped all the logic out. I rebuilt the cannons to fit better on the a pivot and not really run into issues. I'll play some clips of the logic as I'm doing this, but essentially it's not finished, but I can go into manual mode and that lets me control the turret. At the moment, there's something weird with the water turns off after the first time you turn it off and then you have to turn it back on again. And that's part of the reset system that I'm trying to figure out. But this kind of compressed turret has seemingly a better field of view because it's not bonking anything. So it can go all the way up. I don't think I can go all the way down, but that's, to be expected. And a little trick I'm using, I've got a barrel on the bottom here, and that is connected to the top part of the pivoting piece. Because that part of the subgrid was so weak, it needed more weight. So just adding a barrel adds a bunch more weight. And from here, the idea is that I have a reset button, and it can just turn off all the pumps, reset them back to default. Then we have another button that cycles the turret, so now it's looking through that camera over there. You can see it kind of changing. Now I'm on this turret. And then, the real tricky bit, so I've got an antenna on here and a button that will cycle through all the channels that you have on the remote controller, which is 0 to 8, so 9 channels. So let's say we put this one on channel 0 and we hit the manual mode. Whenever this is on, we can take control. So part of the reset system, I don't know why, but I can't turn it on and leave it on when I'm using the remote controller. So then I can leave that one off, and if I say I put this one on channel 1, we can position that one, then cycle through onto channel 1 on the controller, and now I can control this turret. And if we put them both on channel 0, and you have to press the manual mode button to take control of it. So now I've got both of them. They're using up-down counters to turn, so you can get one of them into more turns than the other one. If I change this to another channel and I turn more, if I put this one back on 0 now, they rotate at the same rate, but they're never looking in the same direction because they're just totally offset from each other. But that's fine. You can just come back over here, hit reset. They all reset back. Probably need to turn those off when I reset. And so I've got the turret up here. It's a large pump. It goes into a hose directly. There's no other pipes on here, so large pump, nozzle, hose anchor on the back, which is hose anchor directly into the pivot. And then this runs a pump down the same line where it comes down into that cupboard where there's 2 pumps, one for each side. And so these turrets will start facing outwards, and then I'll limit how far back they can face. And then 90 degrees to the left should be directly forwards, which means we miss out on a little bit of the directly in front of the ship. So we'll just have to be aware. And the idea with the panel on the back here is that you can come and interact with it from up here. When you get outside, you'll be able to just run up to it, interact with it, set it on the right channel. So yeah, a little bit more logic to make sure that I can get it all working. Get the hoses to stay on and get the reset to work properly. But it's really close, and they're nice and compact now, so they fit on the ship very nicely. I think I've got all these connectors working now. Yeah, so that's lighting up all the indicators on the wall as well. Maybe not all of them. There's actually an immense amount of logic for those connectors. what I'm going to do today is start figuring out what kind of instruments we need in the bridge. So I'll probably get rid of that. This is just speed, which we'll put somewhere real. This was, what's that? Toggle button. That was the maneuver mode button. I think the throttle is okay there. Let's chop this whole thing up. Drop that down. So I don't think I'll need this bit of steer anymore. I might leave it there just to see if it's gonna be okay. That's actually, it feels a lot better, like when you get out of the seat you're not going through the roof. And if we have a look on this seat, having the like second layer of display or whatever, having a too high display, it only just cuts into the window at the bottom. So it might mean that I can actually put more instruments along the bottom here. Apparently this size of ship shouldn't really be going more than 30 knots. But I mean, in Stormworks it's good to have a high speed so that we can actually get places. So let's start mapping things out then. I'm thinking in this spot I want to have the Don't Get Lost unit, so that's a 2x display. Down here we've got engines and electronics. I'm thinking I could put a display here to show the engine room, and then maybe more instruments above. I think I want to go like commit to the too high. I'm going to put a key here. This is going to be my like go everything key. Go everything. So you need to turn that on before anything else can be turned on. This display is going to be of the engine room, and there'll be a button. We'll go number 2. Arrow button, please. This is going to be cycle engine room cameras. And then I want to know, I think this 2 panel down the bottom I'm going to do is flip switches and lights. Was it flip switch on the bottom and light on the top? What are 4 sets of lights that I need? We have navigation lights. What else do I need? Spotlights. Spotlights is always a good one. What if I have forward and back deck lights? Rear deck lights. And then forward deck lights. I'm sure these have proper names. Feel free to let me know. But basically I'm talking about this spot here below the helipad, and this spot here where all the containers can go. And then I've got essentially 2 engines. I don't want to fill up this whole thing of like engine information, but it would be a lot easier to just display it on these dials than to try and put it on a display somewhere. So I think the RPS is basically should all be the same because they're all connected to each other. But things like temperatures will probably be different along the condensers, and we've got 2 boilers and a furnace. 2 boilers and a furnace. 2 boilers. I want to use this one here. We've got an anchor, right? We've only got 1 anchor. So the first flip switch is going to be auto anchor on. Stop. That will let me know what I'm talking about. And we'll have an indicator to say that that system is on. And then the other one is going to be manual deploy anchor. And that'll have an indicator as well, but that'll be connected to the button. I don't like buttons. I wish we had more flip switches and things. But basically it's just going to be like an automatic and a manual anchor. And then these 3 instrument panels will become up the right way. I'll do this one as well. Okay, so starting at 2, we want to know probably like if we're generating steam. We're going to start with furnace temperature. We're going to have an indicator on the top left, which is engine ready. So that means we can start moving forwards. I might even connect that to the clutch so that the clutch won't be allowed to engage until the engine is ready. Next, we've got the furnace temperature. And then below that, I think we could go fuel level. Put that on a gauge. Then we will have 2 boilers. Left boiler temperature. And we'll use a gauge for this. And then right boiler temperature, another gauge. And then we'll have boiler pressure, I think. And we'll leave these on dials, left and right boiler pressure. And then we have, I think I just need 1 engine RPS. It's going to be the same through all of them. But I have 6 condensers. Do I need to know the temperature of the condensers? What if instrument 1 is piston RPS? Because that's just going to be the same for all of them. Then number 2 can be condenser temp. Use a gauge for that, and I'll just I'll take all the condenser temperatures, and then I will report whichever one is the highest, because they should be basically the same. And then maybe leaving a gap there is okay, you know? That's not bad. I'm not really losing too much of my view. I think because I've dropped down, I've actually gained more visibility of the horizon, because it's no longer being like met by the roof. And so here I would be able to probably turn that on, go everything. Then I would go flip, flip. Yeah. Nav lights. Push that a couple of times. All this would start moving. So that's all your useful information. This is going to be don't get lost. So that's even more useful information. I don't know if I need anything in here. Actually, that could be for a keypad. I have absolutely no idea how any of the like automatic navigation works. But do you think I should put a keyboard there, and then that can pick up the coordinates? If I place a map marker, then it can pick it up through that. Perhaps? I mean, it kind of looks interesting. And then I'm going to get rid of this wedge, and we'll put a wedge down the very end. What else do I need? I could get like weather information. Let's put some stuff on the mast, because I need the transponder anyway. I'm going to put some stuff in the middle. Put a transponder there, and wind sensor on the other side. Rain sensor probably needs to go on the top. It probably doesn't need to go on the top. GPS, I need a GPS. I'll hang the GPS off the bottom on the top. We get a humidity sensor. This is so hard to control. I might put a humidity sensor like facing forwards. We can put the speed sensor up here as well. Put a temperature probe. I feel like I'm just going to end up hanging a lot of the stuff off the bottom. We've got tilt sensors. So yeah, there's not really that many sensors for the size of this mast. Would it be good to know the tilt of the ship? I could just put an artificial horizon on. Oh no, that's not helpful. Not like that anyway. We'd have to do it in Lua because this thing's tilted, so. But yeah, we could use a 2x2 display and draw a boat, or use an artificial horizon and just output it onto here. I think also having a camera on top of the mast could be really useful. What if this display, what if, let's get rid of these and put a 2x3, and then this display can be used for monitoring all around the outside of the ship. I'll just make it so like it just cycles between cameras, and then I don't know, something here. It's looking pretty good on this side. Large keypad, entering your waypoint, and then that could just appear on this, or do I want to have a multi-stage waypoint finding thing, or just one? Because if it's just one, then I can use that, and this can just be a map that I can move around. Well, let's start connecting stuff, I guess. Go everything. I'm gonna leave it like that. We've got a radar mostly sort of working. This is a camera for the engine room, so let's get some cameras. If I use this small one, I can still move it around. Like I can still tilt it, because I'm thinking there'll be one here. Tilt it down a little bit. Oh, I could probably... No, I can't get away. I thought I was going to be able to put one of the longer ones in there. That'll let me see the pistons. And then if I bring one further up from here and tilt it down, I can see the furnace. Maybe I want one below here or something. That one will be crap. I need to pull that down a little bit. Yeah, we'll have 3 cameras. That'll be easy. So we have a cycle button, which will be channel 3. Let's do the microcontrollers. Basically, I'm going to make a microcontroller for every panel. Just for Clifford, because it's so big, I want to get away from chaining everything across one microcontroller. So for this, we'll use a relay on the electronics switch to actually turn the display on. Then we'll need the button, which is going to be comp input. Then we'll have video out, engine room monitors, engine room entrance, engine room furnace, and engine room condensers. Even though you can't see the condensers, so we're checking for number 3, which is our button, and our button goes into a counter, which counts up. We have a threshold and a reset. We have 1, 2, 3. So if our increment is 0, then our reset will be 3. Min will be 0, max will be 3. I'm going to put a pulse on here just because it seemed like it was doing some funny stuff before. And then we'll use some thresholds and some switch boxes. 0, 1, and 2. So that's pretty straightforward. We'll get a relay chucked down with all this. So, how will I do this? I guess I'll have like 2 relays. Or a bunch of relays. 2 is probably okay. So this one here will do like the master everything relay. And then I need to figure out how to get one off that instrument panel that does all the electronic relay. So it'll go like that. And then this output will come into... Ooh, I need to get rid of a bunch of these. Yeah, the key controls that relay, which brings electricity in from the battery. And then this sends power to all the non-display stuff. And I won't go onto the other side because I'm not actually sure what's going on over there. And I might just make it a bit easier here. Okay. So this one goes to there. The comp goes up to there. And then we go all the way down. I think this is the entrance, this is the furnace, and this is the condenser. And then off the battery, come up and connect into here. And the key will also need it because the key is like got to be on in the first place. I might put the fire alarm reset up here. And I'll leave it as a big button because it's going to be one of those things that when it goes off, it'll be a pain in the ass to find. You want it to be one of the biggest buttons you can find. Also these 2... Wait a minute. I don't need to run the electricity off the battery. I can run it off the side of the relay that's still connected to the battery. That'll make it so there's only one electrical line coming up to this relay. And then that's where it splices off into all these like things that need to be connected all the time. Yeah. So like none of this works because we're not on yet. We turn this on. Then this is supposed to turn that on. Hold on. Hold on a minute. I feel like I already have one of these. Electronics panel. Electronics relay. Is it on 1? I think it's on 1. It should probably not be on 1. It should probably be on... Wait a minute. Electronics... Oh, it should be on 1. Okay, so we'll take this signal, send it in here, and then that will go into the second relay. Then the second relay connects all the electronics, and it's also going to connect to all the stuff that's on the mast. Because all of this stuff... Actually, it doesn't need to connect like this again. It can connect into one thing, and then that one thing can connect to everything else. Oh, why is this on? What did I do? This electronics relay also needs to go to all the ons for the displays. So I'm trying to make a system that won't just sit and drain electricity. That's what the relays are for. Okay, so everything's off. Turn this on, nothing happens. Turn the electronics on. Now we can see pistons and a bit of the furnace down the back if we press this button. No! 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 Why? Why? Yes? Yes! Wait, we can see outside? And then nothing. Why nothing? 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. Okay, and then I need to tilt the camera a little bit. So I'm thinking because I've got the extra node on here, we'll just do that. We'll go video tilt down. I have no idea how this is gonna behave. Can be pivoted up to 0.125 turns. That's not helpful. That is useless information. Which way does it pivot? Does it only pivot one way? What? 0.125 it is. Somewhere there's a camera. So it was this one? Oh, I wonder if it's just looking into the microcontroller and having a spaz because of that. That's going to be tilting somewhere, some way. Somehow, maybe, perhaps. Wait, wasn't it this one? How is that tilting? What? That's not tilted. What? That was the camera. That is the right camera. Oh, on here it tells me. So I'm pivoting it sideways? God damn. Why don't they put that information on the component? Like, where it should be? Doesn't that sound like a pleasant idea? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Is it not connected? Video tilt down. It looks like it's connected. There is electricity, yes. That's the camera there, and it's connected to a battery. Value 2. What does that mean? Does that mean channel 2? Does it work? Like, is it broken? Does it work at all? Or is 1.125 an incorrect number? Like, is 1 gonna do something? It's so hard to know if you're doing something wrong, or if the game has explained something wrong, or if the game's just broken and the thing that it says should work just doesn't work. Oh, look, now something happens. Their explanation of 0.125 is wrong, basically. A camera, let me read it and see if I can understand this. A camera with video output feed can be pivoted up to 0.125 turns using composite input. 0.125 turns. This is some radians crap, isn't it? Let's say 0.25. That's probably too much. Is that zoomed? Is that zoomed? I think I want to go negative. I want to point down. I don't want to look at the roof. I don't care what's on the roof. Does that look any different? That's better. So I can see like the boilers, basically all of the boiler and all of the furnace. Okay, so let's connect furnace and boiler. Wait, it'll be this one, won't it? We need to set these three up now. So furnace temperature, fuel level, and engine ready. Engine ready is going to be a little bit different. So I'll leave that until get the rest of this done. We are pulling data in and sending it out. So we need panel 1 output. We need the furnace temperature input and the fuel level input. And then the other state, I guess, is that we need to know if the engine is ready. To know if the engine is ready, I think I would be looking for probably steam piston, RPS, and maybe a combination of steam boiler, temp. I'll leave these two out. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So engine ready will be on 1, and then it will be start at 2 and channel count 3, because we're setting the temperature into 2 and the fuel level into 4, and then engine ready is just hanging out there. This goes into that one. Fuel level, and temperature. Yeah, temperature. And then next we have left boiler, right boiler, pressure. So temperatures and pressures. These are all out, boiler, temp, and pressure panel. This is by far the easiest one. So we want temperature, pressure. Did you guys know that, you might have seen it just then, if you have this output and this output, or these two nodes directly on top of each other, you can just click that once and it'll connect them for you. So instead of having to like click and drag everything, if you're just placing things and clicking on them, I don't know, it might make connecting things a bit quicker sometimes. Right, boiler, pressure. And then right boiler, temperature. Left boiler, pressure. Okay. And then next we have piston RPS and condenser temp. We've got 6 condensers, piston RPS and condenser temp. This control is probably going to change quite a lot. Piston RPS, and then I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Condenser 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I need to do something with all these numbers so that I only output the highest number. Max of XR. I didn't even read that. So I got this crazy thing here. Trapdoor helping me again. I didn't even realize that you could just do a max. Where is it? This max of X and Y. So it's just going and like comparing all the numbers until it finds the highest one. Okay, piston RPS can just be connected to anything. They should all be rotating at the same speed. They will be rotating offset and things, but they'll be all at the same speed basically. I think they should all be locked in at the same speed. Connecting all the condensers is going to suck, so I'm going to take the microcontroller to the condensers. We'll start over here. This will be 1. I want them to be in some order, so I'm going to organize it in here a bit better. 1, 2, 3. Let's put that one there. Then go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And then this was the piston RPS that got disconnected. 4, 5, 6. Yep. And we'll take this one back. Okay, and then the auto anchor up here, I think I can just use auto anchor. What have we got? Activate Maggle, anchor up, anchor down, anchor button. So let's do, I've only got 150 meters of rope. So we're going to add the throttle, which will lower us down. The anchor button can be the manual deploy. And then I'm also going to put a distance sensor, yeah, we'll say it's a distance sensor, and we're going to measure the depth. So we need to change this anchor button to composite. We only need output, I think. So I can feed the composite data from this back into itself, and that'll turn the lights on. And then this microcontroller, the microcontroller will pick up the data. Channel 1 will do the manual deploy. So we'll probably need an OR. So go pop, pop, pop. So if we press 1, which is the manual anchor, which is 1, then it will automatically deploy. And then we're going to have an AND, some thresholds. The first one will be if the throttle is at 0. Actually, I'll just get a function for this because we're going to need a couple more than 2. So if the throttle is at 0, it's saying we've stopped, and the distance sensor is between, I'm just going to say -99 and 150. Let's 150. Yeah, we'll do 150. And the auto anchor is on, so that'll be X and Y and Z. Then it can deploy. I'm a little hesitant about setting it to be exactly 150. That's the length of my winch, but if we're bobbing around in the ocean, it might deploy the winch and then pick it back up and then deploy it again and then pick it back up as we bob up and down. So maybe the threshold needs to be a bit higher, or maybe a bit lower, for instance. So if it was, it's not going to matter, because if I'm on that threshold, it doesn't matter what I set the threshold to. If I set it to 120, we're still going to be bobbing around the high threshold. So it should be more than the winch can do, right? Like another 10 meters. No, it needs to be 150. Or, yeah. I should have a depth sensor readout somewhere. We'll put that in here. So number 4, we'll go depth. And I'm not just going to chuck that facing straight down. I'm going to use a laser, I think, because this one can only do 500 meters. Oh, well, that's fine. Huh, if I go straight down anyway from here, then we're not really... Oh no, I've just realized if I do this, I'm going to have to use maths. I want to tilt it forwards a little bit, but then I need to know like the triangle that it's drawing. Let's just put it straight down. It'd be nice to know, like on an angle, how deep it is ahead. But yeah, I don't know, that seems a bit overly complicated. So anyway, we connect the depth to here, distance sensor, and then the throttle. Then we've got ankle maggle connected, which is this one, I guess. On off input, and then anchor up and anchor down. And then we've got electricity. This one's going directly to the battery because this is likely to be deployed and left on while the rest of the ship is just sitting. Okay, what else? What else is on here? That's most of like all the driver's side stuff. Don't get lost. I put a nice little squiggly pattern on the don't get lost unit, so now I know which one's which. This has a whole bunch of sensors that I need to put down. And I don't know, should I put these on the mast? I probably should. It'd just be like an easy place to find more sensors. If I'm ever looking for sensors, they're up here. Oh, I could put a clock. Wait, I should just put this stuff in the bridge because it's like analog stuff. Clock. Yep, clock, easy peasy. Compass sensor. Does this need to be facing a specific way? Blah, blah, blah. The sensor is... I don't know. I don't know if it has to be facing a specific way. But where can it go? What if I get rid of this? I don't know what I was using this display for. GPS Y, GPS X, compass, clock, and then video. Let's see if I can start it normally. Can I start it like you would expect to start it during normal gameplay? Turn the key. Electronics. Furnace. We can see the furnace temperature going up. And if we cycle so we can see the furnace, it should start to glow a little bit orange. Maybe that doesn't come through on the camera though, I'm not sure. It's changing color, I think. Now that's at 140. Oh, I need to set the min-max on those. Pressure is... That's not right. They're all the same number. I would expect two of them, like the temperatures to be the same and the pressure to be the same, because the valves are directing the same amount of coolant between both boilers. We have a lot of fuel. We can see the pistons are not moving yet. I'm guessing that this is temperature. Now we're starting to move, or the pistons are starting to move. And then this is when I would want the engine ready light to come on. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice startup sequence. And then once you're clear of the port, you could just use this keypad, pop in your GPS coordinate that you want to go to, your waypoint marker, and then you can just let the ship run. Turn on whatever lights you need on. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's all pretty good. I think the back of it could do with some cleanup, probably some big XML blocks to like hide it, make it all look like it's merged together. The other thing we can test is if we stop and I turn on the auto anchor, you can hear the anchor going down, and it'll go down, connect, and then this one needs to run out a little bit more. Because if it's in waves, then it's not gonna, it's gonna like try and flip the ship if it's in waves. So that'll bring us back up. That'll send it back down. And then we have the depth, which is not working. Condenser temp is 3, apparently. Wait, no, that's the RPS. How much have I goofed? Wait, why is that not working? It must all be the numbers that I'm using. It must be on the instrument panels. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Okay. So let's set up some min-maxes then. For furnace temperature, we know that it's basically not going to run in negative. So we'll give it a little bit of negative for ambient temperature. I think that'll be good to know if it's been sitting in the Arctic and you know it's in a negative ambient temperature, that it's going to take longer to heat up. And then the max temperature I'm going to set will be 170 because I actually want to run this at probably 160. Fuel level, it was like 40,000 or something. Boiler temperature, we will also give this a minimum negative 50, I suppose, and then up to 200. I don't know. I'm just giving it random numbers. It'll be okay. Because when you look at it, you know what you're looking at anyway. Boiler pressure will be between 0 and 10. Even though it doesn't seem like we can get to 10 anymore. Piston RPS will be between 0 and 5. I think their highest speed is 5 when they're completely disconnected from everything. They'll never hit 5 though. And then condenser temp will go between negative 50 and 150. Well, let's go 110 because once we're over 100, I'm pretty sure that we're just going to be turning the steam, or not turning the steam into water because it's too hot. And then depth here, yeah, that should be fine. And I'll need to either change this label or figure out how to move that distance sensor so it's pointing forwards. Now, also, I've been thinking about how I'm going to get markings and things on the side of this. The problem that I'm really encountering though is that I've curved the side of the hull down really early before I get to the waterline, and that's meaning that anything I want to paint on here is kind of impossible because you can't paint anything on the wedges. So I can paint stuff all up here, just not down by the waterline. So I don't know if I'll really get anything useful put along there, but if I can twist the paint blocks into a good position so that they kind of look like they're supposed to be there, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm just looking for like stuff to chuck up on the side. Furnace, electronics. Change to the furnace camera. Turn on all the lights that don't turn on. Yeah. And now we wait. That compass sensor is kind of useless, I reckon. Especially when you've got a heading right here. But the clock, yeah, clock's also useless considering the time's right there. I might just hide them underneath something. Underneath the dash somewhere. Oh, I didn't put a speed anywhere. We don't know how fast we're going. Oh, what is up with these condenser temps? I thought they'd be way lower. Let's go and check that. I thought they were running at like 9 degrees last time. 40. The coolant is only 10, so I wonder are these on? 10 liters a second from ocean. That doesn't seem right because the big pumps can do way higher. Hey, look at these. These are going up to like 600 liters a second. Why are these so low? 10. I might change the pumps out on those for the bigger pumps. We're going so fast. I'm just sliding backwards. Oh yeah, this wall though, this wall is cursed. You can't stand next to that wall, it repels you. I would say that the co-pilot, or whatever this seat is, this stuff will be done pretty soon because it's basically this monitor and then some dials and stuff which will be used for the fluid cannons. I just need to figure out that system. I think I'll move the fire alarm over to more of the middle, get rid of those clocking compass sensor from there, and then I think I need to get rid of this front row of instruments and put a wedge in there instead. And then this seat will just be used for... hold on a minute. Do we even fit under this bridge? Oh no, we don't. Hold on, hold on. Wait a minute. Here, we have a situation. Can I wiggle off it? What's gonna happen? It's not happy. What do I do about this? What was I talking about before? I was just saying how I was gonna move all the instruments, wasn't I? All these will get moved around a little bit. Yeah, no, that's okay. I'll figure that stuff out later. Maybe that's a sign. It's time to get off. So most of the logic for running then on the dash is done. The crane's nearly done. The deck's nearly done. Everything's really, really close right now. Yeah, hopefully there's just a couple more things to do, and I don't want to get you guys' hopes up that it's going to be out soon, but I feel like I'm getting really close to finishing it. I'm not going to make any promises of any dates when it'll be released though. So yeah, just keep watching, I guess. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.